Popcorn ready. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Yes, you see the picture. I'm sure you saw the title. We are finally back. Snowfall, Season 6. And oh yeah, let me do the original introduction. Quincy Reviews, giving y'all the latest news from Amazon, Hulu, Netflix, and other miscellaneous series. And a little news here and there. But today I give y'all Snowfall Season 6, Episode 1 and 2. But before we do that, we're going to give you Episode 1 of The Fallout. Wow. I mean, what can I say about this episode and how this season is about to happen? My mouth just dropped. I am at a loss for words. It's already starting off incredible. Especially you guys remember how it started from last year. It starts off with them showing the drug epidemic, and there's a little girl. She's waiting on her father to come home because he never came home. The mailman helps her out, and they drive to a location. And she sees her dad laying dead under the sheets. That's sad. She walks to him and she noticed that that's him from the bracelet. Then they go to another segment of Franklin picks up his pregnant wife, and they're driving to talk about what they're going to do with the money that he stole from, his cousins. Angela and Jerome are up there at the stash spot, and they wonder how much money Franklin stole. And his wife lets him know that this ain't no boy stuff. It's man stuff. Because, this is Jerome's nephew, so he's still undecided of what he's going to do. Franklin shows his girl the new stash spot, showing her where he can put the money and the drugs from the money he stole from his uncle. She's feeling a little guilty, and she tries to get him to stop the beef with him and his cousins and the family. Franklin meets up with one of the people at the car wash to look for other people with the cash reward involved in it. Teddy and the detectives still can't find his girl that went missing. He arrives at a person's crib to pour resources to find parts for new dealings. But the guy ain't feeling it. He even pulled a gun out on him because of one of the guest partners is dead because of Teddy. Gustavo talks about what they're going to do and about what's going on. Him and his girl, and they end up taking the kids bowling. By the way, there's going to be some spoiler alerts. Turn this channel off. If I haven't said it already, if you don't know this about me, you might as well cut this channel off now. Jerome and his wife speak about the money and what they're going to do about people coming from out of town to pick up. Feeling unsure, Jerome makes a call to Franklin, but he didn't answer. Franklin meets with Dion, As he's meeting with him, he peeps a low ride out. Franklin offers him a deal on some keys. But Dion lets him know that he ain't trying to be a part of the family drama. The deal he's making him, he can buy any car he want. He lets him know that, like, hey man, just stick with me. Don't mess with my cousin. Gustavo and Teddy meet at the new spot. He is pissed because he hasn't seen them. Angela sees Teddy and get more product and lets him know that he was robbed by Franklin and wants a little love on the bricks, on consignment, And she lets Teddy know that Christmases with the family is going to be canceled, to say the least. Franklin needs his wife to launder money to Miami. Of course, she's not feeling it. Jerome meets with Dion about their meetup with Franklin. So they come up with a plan to get the keys back. He tells them, meet them tonight so they can find a way to get his drugs and money back. The detective meets with one of the C.R.A.H and wants to know what the drama is about. He even offers Teddy his badge back. Gustavo walks in and Teddy tells him he don't want no parts of the drama between what's going on with the family. Franklin's wife shows up to take flight to make the drops for Miami. And she's looking beautiful, y'all, even pregnant. Franklin's looking very surprised. And she's letting him know, hey man, if you're gonna go to Miami, you're gonna lounge your money, this is what your fiance is supposed to look like. One of the cops from last season that helps Franklin tells Jerome and his wife things are getting ugly. And as they're talking, Franklin calls his uncle. Jerome is trying to meet up to pick up his drugs. But Franklin got no fear in him to give it back. But Angela lets him know that last season, which in their case, a few weeks ago, Franklin pulled a gun out on him. And as you can see the look on Jerome's face, he's not taking it lightly. Franklin meets with the girls to give them the cash to pick up. And by the way, Teddy also gets his girl from jail. And she looks at him like, finally, about time, She gives him that look. She actually says it. Gustavo sneaks and meets with one of the cops to let them know that he needs to make it look like he met someone at the hospital. But the cop is letting him know they need to move faster on getting Teddy. It seems like everybody is telling this season. This is the last season, so everybody is kind of, I don't want to say everybody, but Franklin, Gustavo, of course the mom, So I think they eventually are going to find out that they're working with them people. So I wonder how this is going to transpire. But back to the series. Mom tells Franklin that Ruben, the cop, they need to end it all and give it all up. Mom lets him know that things are not easy and basically things need to change and ready to shut down the government. It's either her or them, and agrees to meet up with the cop. I mean, a very powerful moment by the mom. You know, I mean, definitely Emmy winning moment. Franklin Girls picks up the money from the drop, but the cop stopped him, and the crooked cop is behind the stop. You know, the one that's with Jerome wife's Angela that's helping her out, and the one that put the hit together from last season from one of the OGs. So they pop open the trunk and they get the money. And guess who pops out? Jerome. And Jerome asked one of the girls, and things went left. You know, he asked about his money. And of course, they don't know where the new stash spot is at. So he beats the tall girl in the head in the back of the gun, and he does it multiple times. But he steady asks, "Where's my money?" And the other girl is held by the cop, you know, the short one. And she's screaming, "Let her go!" She's telling the truth, and he's asking, "Where's my money?" And I mean, the girl's completely knocked out from Jerome hitting her with the gun. Man, I wish you didn't did that. You know, when you're watching this, you feel like you're in it, you know? You really do feel like you're in the show, and it seems very real. And, you know, everybody, even the cops feeling sad for the girl. And, you know, he lets the short girl know, hey, let Franklin know I did this, and he know where to find me. And that's how episode 1 ends. Episode 2, The Sit Down. It starts off with showing 24 hours prior, you know, from last season. And it shows Teddy girls coming missing after going to jail and knocking herself out and hitting her head from the tree. She tells him she got a good look at the person chasing her. Jerome is feeling some pain from killing the tall girl that was with the other girl that's with Franklin. He's feeling a little guilt. Franklin shows up to the hospital to find out if the girl's okay. And as he's trying to see what's going on, Black Diamond passes away from Jerome. And, you know, the short girl, you know, that's her home girl, man, and she completely lost it, you know. Man, I felt that one. The next day, Mom shows up to take him to meet the cop, the CIA or the FBI, whatever you want to call it. I know they're going to be roasting me on this one, you know. So many variables when it comes to the law enforcement. But let's just say this guy is one of the elites that wants to take down Teddy. So they meet up at the museum. The cop is watching them come in, and they start to speak on the info Franklin knows. He tells them about the CIA and Teddy and expose everything to the world about the cocaine, and rats out his aunt and uncle. Man, that's what got me though. That's what got me because man, like, it's different when you got beef with each other and you're going to war with each other. But come on, Franklin. But hey, they took his money, you know, and I don't know what to say. I know they took this show from the real Freeway Rick Ross story, and obviously throughout these seasons they flipped it and made it to their own. But this seems very real because it actually is real in real life, because this really do happen, you know. So, mom's tried to add a solution to maybe her son and her brother meeting to end their beef. And of course, the pregnant wife or the pregnant girl feels the same. I know I've been saying wife, but it seems like they're married already, right, y'all? Jerome meets with the guys from out of town, and one of the guys is deaf. It's one of my favorite scenes of episode 2. And Jerome is poking fun at him, because he's deaf and, he can barely talk. He understands, though, so Jerome starts talking loud so he can hear him. Jerome lets him know they can have a little fun while they wait and get everything settled. Even some side punani. some side poots, giving them 24 hours to get everything right. Franklin goes to see Kane that got shot, OG Kane, by the cop from last season. And he definitely wants his revenge. He pulls everything off, because he knows he can't use nothing from below his waist, most likely anymore. Gustavo shows up to the CIA that is helping him on one of the underground tunnels that they hide the drugs at. And he is completely shocked and like, wow. But as this is going on, he gets a page from Teddy while being in there. So he calls him. That made Gustavo suspicious about Teddy wanting to meet with him. He's become a little scared. And let me say this. You gotta be careful with the woman you choose, the man you chose, and this is a prime example. Because you can tell Jerome don't want to have beef with his nephew, his family. This is his sister's son. And you can see the pain in him, because he wants his money, but it's kind of like, when you have that certain woman in your ear, or adding more fuel to the fire, especially with that being his wife, it's gonna be hard to meet in the middle. Which leads me to Jerome and Angela makes a stop to go see Scully. Oh, he's one of my favorite characters on the show, right? He's a lot of people's favorite characters. He does a great job. But now he's on some Kumbaya vibes right now, especially, since from the growth from last season. And Scully tells them that he has been hearing about the drama going on in the streets and how he knows he was behind the hit of OG Kane. He wants him to fix the beef with him and their family, as Jerome steady getting pages from his sister. He wants him to fix the beef with them and their family. And Jerome is steady getting pages from his sister, which, as you know, is Franklin's mom. So Scully sees that and is like, man, look, you need to see the signs, man. You need to peep the signs. And lets them know that they need to end their beef. He also offers them a token for the spirit. 2 flowers, 2 leaves, so they can keep with them for great energy. Franklin girl meets with a Japanese or Chinese, I don't want to say the wrong thing, mom at the casino. He shows her she's pregnant. She also lets her know what's going on with Franklin and needs mom's help with $73 million of laundering. Franklin checks on the short girl that's with him, with her friend passing away, Black Diamond, as he tells Franklin that she's out of the game. One of the reasons is because her and Diamond made a pact that if one of them died, they would take one of each other's kids and just go. Jerome meets with his sister. They laugh and speak about the past, but Jerome wants to know what she really wants to meet about. And she tells him that they family. She wants them to end what's going on between her son, Franklin, and her brother, Jerome. Gustavo sees Teddy. He shows him the detective trying to bring them down and wants to be on the lookout. Franklin meets with the girl's mom so she can help them launder the money, but she wants 20%. He ain't feeling it. She got the ribs coming. She's chowing down because she's from overseas, so eating real American food is like a breath of fresh air for her, But she lets him know that there are ways to do things overseas in their banks, and he's a week to get it done, and to also be more with her daughter. Gustavo noticed the cop from the picture from the sketch that was at the wedding from Jerome last year, and he just peeped that, and because it was on the refrigerator. Franklin and Gustavo meet at a Mexican fight. He shows him a sketch, and Gustavo asks, "Do you know who this guy is?" And to tell him and to help him figure out who he is. But Franklin is like, hey, if I help you out, you got to bring me Teddy. And offers him $10 million to give him up. Now, this is what we all been waiting for. Whoa. This is what all we've been waiting for. Man, Jerome and Franklin finally comes together face to face. It starts off kind of cool. Franklin wants him to stay out his way and things will be all good. They're at a restaurant. And Jerome tells him why he moved to LA and the battle he faces, until Franklin was born, because he wanted to raise him, until he tells him he fucked up because of him. Is that, am I the reason why you are what you are now? From being the reason he is the person he is today. From being, Franklin says, for him being a petty drug dealer on the porch, to him being rich, he created that. I created that. So Jerome was feeling some type of way, making it seem like he the one that created or the growth of Jerome. They throw words at each other, then boom, Jerome hits him. Boom. Frank lets him know that you ain't nothing because of your crazy wife. And of course, Jerome was not with that. So boom. Jay hits him again. And Jerome said Frank wasn't going to do nothing. And he hits him again. So Frank pulls out in a rage, in a stare down. He pulls a gun out on him, point blank at him. And Frank tells him to pull the trigger. Shaking, pissed, eyes at a beam. Franklin is seeing all that. And he tells him to pull the trigger. People in the restaurant is distorted, shocked, and things are looking like this season is about to be very ugly. So Franklin walks away in a rage, walking on ongoing traffic. I must have rewind this scene, by the way, like 4 times, by the way, just to see it. Franklin is walking to the car. He's just in space because the meeting with his uncle didn't go the way it was supposed to be planned. He hits the car in episode 2, y'all. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Snowfall. All right. Y'all let me know what y'all think is going to happen this season. How this is going to end. Will the family get back together? Will Jerome leave his wife? Will his wife do something to her husband, Jerome? Y'all hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching. Stay popcorn ready, y'all.